The progression systems in Rust have always been like a roller coaster ride. When a new system comes out, a majority of people are excited for change and enjoy the new system for a little bit, until they realize it has as many faults as the last system had. I believe the best system we have had so far was the pure component system. The main issue people had with the pure component system was that there was no real progression. Facepunch decided to re-add blueprints in Blueprints 3.0 to add a progression system into the game. Today I will be sharing my thoughts on this current iteration of progression and list out all of the faults I see in this new system. Let's start off with how Blueprints 3.0 affects solos and smaller groups compared to clans and large groups. I believe this system has been one of the worst systems ever implemented in Rust for solos and smaller groups compared to clans. I know having more people should make you progress faster in games and give you the advantage over solos, but the rate that clans do in Rust compared to solos and small groups is honestly disgusting. Clans will usually have a crafting cuck. Crafting cucks receive and learn every blueprint for the group, and as a result, everyone in that group reaps the benefits of one person knowing all of the blueprints. This means that a group of 6 will reach endgame crafting in Rust at least 6 times faster than a solo player of equal skill and farming time, right? Well, not really, if you account for the fact that groups also benefit from the safety in numbers when farming and killing for scrap. Groups can also camp rad towns with ease, while solos usually die while trying just to get that one rifle body. In a game where most servers wipe weekly, this gap in progression can make grinding painful for players new to a server or right after a fresh blueprint wipe. Usually solos and small groups that play consistently don't get all the blueprints until the week is almost over and must wait for the next wipe to even get a chance to use the blueprints they grinded for in the first place. Now let's talk about what I call the trash blueprints. These blueprints are the most annoying things to get out of barrels and boxes and need to be changed or removed. They have no value to anyone because of how common they are and how unimportant the items you get to research are. I would love to see one of the Rust devs go to farm barrels for a couple minutes and get an inventory full of useless blueprints just to see how it feels. I would rather get an extra piece of scrap than get any of these trash blueprints and really wish these blueprints were default. Progression. The big P word that is always on the front of Rust Reddit. Blueprints 3.0 brings the same problems that the old blueprint system had. After a fresh blueprint wipe, large groups struggle forget this. The first 2 to 3 days after a blueprint wipe until they get every single blueprint that exists. Then for the next few months until there is a blueprint wipe, they do not even have to worry one bit about blueprints. It takes solos and small groups at least a week of solid grinding to get every blueprint in the game, but then even after that they don't have to worry for a few months until the next blueprint wipe as well. This system does not work as a good progression system in a weekly wipe Rust, and will not work in the future if there's ever a wipeless Rust. The next issue I see is with the new Rust map layout. The Rust devs are dividing Rust islands into tiered zones in an attempt to split up people according to their progression in the game. This split up map does nothing but hurt anyone that doesn't build near the big rat towns. Every relevant clan builds near them and slowly raids the closest buildings until there's nothing left. That means you must build a building for specifically gathering components near rat towns so your main base won't get raided in 1 hour. Large groups that know every blueprint from the previous wipe also don't really need to build near these big rat towns, so they will actually build in noobish zones and completely dominate the area, which I thought wasn't supposed to happen. I don't really like the idea of moving your base in Rust from like a tier 1 zone to a tier 2 to a tier 3. Rust really isn't a game where you kind of want to risk all of your loot in one go and try to move and like migrate across the map. That just seems strange. At least in the current iteration of Rust. That doesn't seem like it's the smartest thing to do. I'm going to end this video by explaining my thoughts on what changes could be made to make the system feel better for everyone. First off, I think Facepunch should add a penalty to people who use weapons, maybe even clothing, that they do not have researched yet. It doesn't have to be a massive penalty. Something simple as 25% more durability usage when firing a weapon would be enough. This would give everyone in a group a reason to research items that they will use constantly and could lead to giving individuals in a group specific roles early on. When it comes to trash blueprints, I honestly think they should be removed and be replaced by, a few scrap. If Facepunch really wants to keep these blueprints in, I think they should be able to be recycled for at least 5 scrap a pop because they cannot be stacked in your inventory. I would also really love if there was like a 1% chance of getting a blueprint for a tier 3 item, so that getting, these trash blueprints would feel rewarding sometimes. Now when it comes to progression, it is kind of hard because Facepunch is striving for a wipeless Rust in the future. A few things that I feel would make the current progression system in Rust feel better would be adding more tier 1 and tier 2 items. In my opinion, tier 3 weapons like the AK should be nerfed a little bit because of how dominant they are compared to the LR, which is supposed to be more rare. I would make most rat towns dangerous again by adding AI to the area that makes it extremely dangerous to camp loot spawns. More AI that drops different loot would also give players something else to do, besides just hitting barrels and farming trees. Hopefully that will turn out to be the new scientist coming out. I believe more events like heli and airdrops need to be added to give players more opportunities to get higher tier items. I love the concept of a care package being dropped off at a random rad town so that every rad town has a chance of getting fat loot. I personally think the loot spawns in rad towns need to be a bit more randomized so the exact spot can't be camped. One thing Rust really needs is an overall progression system in the game. Something that carries on after any type of wipe so that your 2,000 plus hours can be represented in the game in some form. The main reason I'm making this video is because I played solo the first few wipes right after this blueprint system came out in October, and I really enjoyed it, like most people did at first. I got extremely lucky the first day of wipe and killed a fully geared guy who was in a clan and got roadside armor and a semi. I started mass producing armor and weapons and sold them in a vending machine for sulfur and made thousands of sulfur early on. There was one problem though, and that was that I could only make satchels. I tried and tried to get any other explosive, but couldn't because my base wasn't near one of the big boy rad towns. And trust me, I tried over 20 times to go to one of them, and every time I did, there was 5 flashlights pointing at me every time I walked in one of them. I ended up having over 60 satchels. I know everyone watching has raided before with a few satchels, but imagine raiding by yourself on a maxed out popular server with over 60 satchels. It was really frustrating because I had been playing non-stop and was doing well, yet I hit a roadblock of sorts. I couldn't just ask someone to, oh, can you craft me a C4? And then, they chunk it. C4 and explosives aren't really something you can ask people to craft you for a trade because, how likely they are to betray you. Facepunch has since added at least one way for solos and small groups to get higher tier items by researching a random one for a higher cost. But that is still an insane amount of grinding to get a blueprint that you might not even want. My main complaint overall though is just this system is, alright for groups, but it's just way too grindy for solos and smaller groups in comparison. I just wish there were more ways for people to get items that they want to research because trading in vending machines is not really reliable when you are trading high tier items and kind of lets everyone know what you have and don't have. Solos and small groups usually never have a chance to loot tier 3 rad towns or take down the heli, so they are really only left with grinding 1,000 scrap for random blueprints, which takes all wipe, in comparison to 2 or 3 days for a large group. That's all of my unorganized thoughts, and I would love to hear what you guys think of them. I know there are hundreds of ideas in which direction Rust should take as a game, but I honestly just want the game to feel fun for everyone to play, solos and clans alike. Thanks for watching.
Gucci gang, oh yeah. Little Pump, yeah. Gucci gang, oh. Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang. Spend 3 racks on a new chain, ooh. My lady love do cocaine, ooh.
I'm gonna smash you on my rock, dude.
I'm going to smash you with my rock. Stop roof camping, noob. I'm going to raid you. Traps aren't gay. Get wrecked. You are gay. Don't make me tell my clan. Thanks for the loot, kid. I am the boss around here, and I am not door camping. I am the mailman. Come get your mail. Bye, noob. JK, I'm still door camping. Come out. Open your doors, and I won't raid. OMG, you idiot. Thanks for the loot. I let you kill me. I guess more girls than you, little boy. Let's get right into the news. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Scarce here. My name's Jeff. Got anyone? Stop it. Get some help. Somebody touch my spaghetti.